Ever wonder why people engage in constant self-promotion and reluctance to accept responsibility for their actions? Enter the narcissistic world. Find the hidden realities that narcissists are hiding, exposing their sly control tactics and unexpected warning indicators. 1. They are attention seekers and like it. Narcissists have a talent for adoring attention. World-renowned psychiatrist Dr. Judith Orloff observes that they desire attention like plants do sunshine. Anyone who is in their path of receiving attention will be bulldozed over. Narcissists may disregard or overshadow others, or even alter circumstances to make sure they are the star of the show. Dr. Craig Malkin is yet another authority in this area. Labels this supply narcissistic. They act as though attention is their drug, and they will go to any lengths to obtain their hit. Ironically, narcissists hide their desire for attention because they don't want to appear needy or desperate, even if that is exactly how they feel. 2. They struggle with empathy. Have you ever pondered why a narcissist finds it difficult to comprehend or give a damn about the sentiments of others? They experience what Dr. Craig Malkin refers to as empathy deficiency disorder. They are less able to establish true emotional bonds because they lack empathy. Why do they conceal this information? It's sort of a protective mechanism, I guess. Famous psychologist Carl Rogers introduced the idea of conditional positive regard, which describes a situation in which others only accept and care about you provided you satisfy specific requirements. Therefore, narcissists may believe that if others don't think highly of them, they won't receive the respect and attention they long for. 3. They secretly fear being rejected. A dread of rejection lurks underneath that self-assured demeanor. According to clinical psychologist Dr. Romani Darvasola, narcissists frequently exaggerate their virtue to compensate for this anxiety. When they act like the finest, narcissists believe that no one will ever dare to reject them. It appears as though they are erecting a barrier to conceal their frailty. Where does this anxiety of being rejected originate from? Psychologists do, however, have various views. Some speculate that it may have its roots in early events where the person felt unworthy or rejected. Others think it has to do with their self-esteem, as if they had a flimsy sense of value that is easily destroyed by rejection. 4. Their middle name is deceit. Licensed clinical psychologist Dr. George Simon. The statement that narcissists are nearly specialists at manipulation fits the mark. They are skilled at manipulating language, performing mind tricks, and inducing doubt about your sanity. Employing such strategies, narcissists have an amazing capacity for commanding both people and circumstances. When interacting with a narcissist, you may have observed that things frequently don't make sense, and that you doubt yourself more than ever. But why do they refuse to reveal their capacity for deception? Well, consider it this way. If a narcissist freely acknowledges, hey, I'm terrific at controlling others, it would make them lose the game. They risk losing the power they want when people begin to see through their ruses. Thus, it resembles their hidden weapon. Without you realizing it, they aim to keep you on the edge of your seat and under their control. 5. Enduring childhood roots. Dr. Drew Pinsky, a board-certified internist and expert on addiction treatment, notes that narcissistic characteristics can be inherited. A narcissistic personality might emerge as a result of unresolved concerns or overindulgence. Narcissists conceal their challenges and fears from their early years to avoid feeling weak or vulnerable. So, asking them where all of this narcissism comes from is like attempting to see the true magician by peeking behind the curtain. They are afraid that people will judge them negatively if they display that vulnerable side. If you find out where their narcissistic qualities originate, they fear that their polished facade may crumble. Therefore, narcissists lock those origins away like a priceless gem. 6. Their kryptonite is criticism. According to professionals like psychologist Dr. Alina Greenberg and psychotherapist Dr. Joseph Burgo, narcissists' fragile egos prevent them from handling criticism. In their thoughts, they have created this magnificent vision of themselves, and every suggestion of flaw or criticism poses a threat to demolish that impression. It appears as though their self-esteem is on a very thin thread. Psychologists have a theory they call narcissistic vulnerability. It's kind of a sophisticated way of stating that underlying their tough facade, they're afraid of feeling inadequate. Consequently, admitting they can't take criticism is the same as admitting they aren't as flawless as they would like to pretend to be. 7. They have flimsy transactional connections. The clinical psychologist Dr. Nancy Van Dyken emphasizes that relationships with narcissists are frequently brief, missing the richness and closeness of true connections. Narcissists have a strong desire for approval and adoration. They want other people to think well of them. Therefore, acknowledging that their relationships are transient and motivated by what they can get from them doesn't exactly suit the picture they're attempting to project. It seems like an insult to their ego. It can diminish their perceived strength or authority, which is bad for them. 8. They harbor tremendous insecurities. Psychologists have been studying narcissists' thinking for a long. They also have theories as to why narcissists conceal their anxieties. Narcissists frequently want a lot of praise and affirmation in order to feel good about themselves. The moment they acknowledge to have insecurities, their facade of supreme confidence would be somewhat blown. The vulnerability paradox is a theory that has been put forth. If you display real insecurity, it's equivalent to donning a mask. You experience weakness, things a narcissist desperately wants to avoid. In order to prevent themselves from feeling exposed, they continue the deed. Behind the facade of excellent self-esteem, the narcissist may be deeply insecure, according to psychologist Glenn Gabbard. 9. The constant search for approval. We all look for approval to some level, but narcissists go far further. Level according to psychotherapist and author Dr. Wendy Bahari, their ongoing desire for approval results from an underlying emptiness that they seek clearance to try to fill. For them to feel good about themselves, they want continual adulation, admiration, and focus. Narcissists have an unquenchable hunger for approval. Why do they conceal their need for approval? The fragile ego of narcissists makes them susceptible to injury, and they worry that if others learn that they constantly seek approval, they will appear weak. 10. They dread being left behind. Psychologists think that underlying their ostentatious appearance, narcissists have a deep-seated fear of abandonment. Their early experiences, such as feeling abandoned or not receiving enough affection as children, may have contributed to this dread. They created this hard shell to shield themselves from further injury. Narcissists have a hard exterior covering them like a hard shell over delicate glass. The picture they want everyone to believe in would be shattered if they said they are afraid of abandonment. If they allow you to see that they are anxious about falling behind, it's like granting you the ability to control them. And they don't want it at all. According to Dr. Craig Malkin, narcissists must maintain the appearance that they are pain-free, since to do so would imply that they are not as wonderful as they believe they are. You can traverse these murky waters with more clarity and empathy if you understand their conduct. While interacting with a narcissist might be difficult, it's important to take care of yourself and establish appropriate boundaries. However, it's important to recognize that controlling relationships with a narcissist might be challenging. It becomes crucial to put your personal well-being first. Creating clear and healthy boundaries acts as a barrier between you and their propensity for manipulation and energy-depleting behaviors. Keep in mind that taking care of yourself is not selfish, but rather necessary to protect your mental and emotional well-being. Remain vigilant and resilient. If this episode was helpful to you, please like the video and subscribe to our channel.